draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance. Who's in a bedroom? Who's in a brand new cuneiform? Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the gap of the map. Unseen hand dragging his scratch like cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a burst with a baptized. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2 that it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clot. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we'll see one of the more dangerous passing offenses. The Buccaneers are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Falcons defense that will need to be on its game. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And here's a look at the starting offense. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
On 3rd down, Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the Falcons grab it. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
First and goal here from the 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stiff-armed him. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go, Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They played so well throughout this entire game.
Mariota to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
Throwing, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Mariota now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This will be, 38 yards out. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit. Sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackle.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Mariota now on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So out come the Bucs now.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
To throw now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
He'll drop to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal. So now it's 2nd down. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
Set, green.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here now come the Falcons. try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Finding time. He's going to loft one deep left. And this is caught at the 20. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 55 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. 2nd down, Mariota. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And a nice job.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got time. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we will toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Here's Mariota. Going to throw right side here, complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. Doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
No gain, and it's second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They go back to the air here after the INT. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot in what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking.
And it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Now he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has their only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Third down, Mariota. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. The Falcons send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry up.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Ten yards still left on second down. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Hurry up, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
No. Check. Patriot. Blue landing. All right, now, lucky 56.
Out of of the gun. They'll look to throw. And, oh, they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Bunting.
And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And they'll go on the ground. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And his kick here is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And a great spot to start this drive from here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Another pistol look here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they'll go with a ground attack here. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this one is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Falcons, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, I'm off to the airport. Charles will be on I-4 back to Windermere as we say so long from Tampa.
Have a nice trip. I'll be home before you even take off.
Lucky.